I now look to Megan Barton-Hanson to continue the case for the proposition.
Good evening. Thank you, Oxford Union organisers and staff, for making tonight happen. As a former stripper, it's refreshing to be invited by uni students to be here tonight and not have to take my clothes off. But if this speech doesn't go well, I haven't ruled it out. If you don't know me from Love Island or OnlyFans, amongst other things, previously I was a stripper. I've used my platform now to talk about issues close to my heart, the destigmatisation of sex and sex workers' rights. With many friends in the industry, tonight I'm going to propose the notion of welcoming the new era of porn. First off, I want to question what we mean by the modern era of porn, as I definitely have some issues as it stands. Most of my speech will be looking at why we should embrace the new era of porn, as it promotes a more regulated industry, safety for performers, and a more balanced view for sex workers. I'm so nervous and I don't know why. Can I just say I am pro-porn? I love porn, but it's important to talk about how porn has changed. Originally, porn was always focused on male pleasure, rarely focusing on women's pleasure or women in control. This is a dying genre now, thank God. Producers like Erica Lust are now making content inclusive of all bodies, age, sexuality, and race. Porn is being made for women, by women, focusing on our pleasure. Sites like OnlyFans and verified amateur accounts are taking over. These sites aren't new though, so what do we mean by the new era of porn? People and society are becoming more open-minded about sites like OnlyFans. Since when has porn ever been discussed so openly in headline news? Both media and consumers have become more open-minded, allowing sex workers to feel more liberated and not having to hide how they earn their money. That's not to say everything about porn is hunky-dory and bad things don't happen in the industry. There's still a lot of degrading porn, belittling women. Young men think that this is a normal representation of sex, and it couldn't be further from the truth. It's really not. Whether good or bad, in my teens, I did learn a lot from porn. And until we open up as a society and become more sex positive, this will continue to be the go-to place for young people to learn about sex. Yes, teach about STIs and pregnancy, but also about pleasure and consent. Consent education would solve a lot of problems porn is seen to create. We can't blame porn and use it as a scapegoat when it's due to our social and educational failings why so many young people go to porn for advice, and it's outdated porn they're watching. A criticism a lot of people have with OnlyFans is the privacy. People are leaking and sharing content, and it's damaging to performers, not only their incomes, but their privacy. This isn't just porn, though. Sadly, revenge porn is on the rise, but luckily there's politicians like Maria Miller that are looking at ways to end this. But again, it shows individuals trying to pin the blame on porn, when the real cause is we're unable to create laws in a fast-moving, internet-based world. Constraining sex workers and porn actors doesn't seem fair or sensible. By no means we should praise porn or OnlyFans without being critical and looking for ways to make it safer for the sex workers. But I do believe a lot of positivity has happened in porn recently. There's a healthier array of porn, amateurs and verified couples where we can see real couples enjoying real healthy consensual sex. Sex workers feel more in control and respected. We have all become a bit more open. Healthy modern porn has become more accessible from sites like OnlyFans. The biggest problem is how porn is viewed, with such disgust and shame. It was a taboo in an underground world, meaning sex workers wouldn't or would be less likely to come forward if terrible things did happen to them. And I haven't written this down, but I just think as a sex worker myself, I just carried so much shame, and I always had to explain why I did it and that I wasn't thick, I could have done other things. I am academic as well, but I chose to do it because I felt empowered as a woman. And I think that's something sex workers are constantly facing. But the underground nature of this industry made it impossible to be heard. It's hard enough for actors and models to call people out like Harvey Weinstein when they have agencies and representatives, and anyone can sign up to be a porn performer from the age of 18. So it's difficult, especially when you're already feeling shame. On a practical level, OnlyFans and porn is now safer because performers are more in control than ever before. There's no creepy producer or photographer trying to take advantage and push you to your limits or tell you're only going to get work if you do more explicit stuff. People argue that it's dangerous. OnlyFans models have been stalked, but again, this isn't just in the adult industry. And why is other people's behaviour, mainly men, curbing women from being able to profit from their bodies? There are so many positives to the new era of porn and all these websites like OnlyFans. Humanisation of the performers. We're able to articulate our values and sexuality in a way we feel comfortable. Women enjoy my content, not because they're bi or gay, but because they've never seen a woman so sexually liberated before. If growing up I saw a woman who was sexually in control and enjoyed sex, it would be a much healthier representation than the porn I was watching growing up. There's a personal bond between performer and consumer, and with this, I think less people want to see hardcore graphic porn and more amateur at-home shot content with their favourite creators. Too often people are commenting on a world they know very little about. I have lived it firsthand, and it's not as seedy and extreme as people want to believe. By not welcoming the new era of porn, what are our options? We can go backwards and maintain the old stereotype, male-dominated, male-focused pleasure, or do away with porn altogether. One is harmful and backwards, and the latter is just unrealistic. Within porn, yes, there is issues, but these predate OnlyFans. They represent where laws and policies are failing to respond to an internet age. We need to put laws in place to protect adult performers and content rather than pretend we don't exist, and speak about and educate young adults on sexual pleasure, a healthy, consensual sex, treating women with respect. Ultimately, my goal is to be an empowered, confident, safe sex worker, and I feel I can be this within the new era of porn.